All right, ladies and gentlemen, how's everyone doing tonight? My name's Richard Hardon. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I want to introduce you to someone special, someone phenomenal, someone who's made incredible sacrifices, both for her family, for her business team, and for each and every one of us. Many of you don't know her story, and I'll leave that for her to share with you. But please, all of you, if you would stand to your feet, help me promote National Director, Ms. Yvette Pegues.
What's up, Five Links? What's up, Five Links? My income is up because my hand stays up to praise my Lord and my Savior, Jesus Christ. I'm here today to thank each and every one of you for giving me the strength to stand here today on your prayers and on the strength of the Five Links founders and the Five Links family. Some of you know me and some of you know my story, but let me just tell you that April 2011, my senior vice president, Mr. Richard Hardon. Where are you, Richard Hardon? Can I hold you? My corporate coworker told me about Five Links. At the time, I had 2 strong legs and an amazing and absolutely perfect husband, Mr. Thero Louis Pegues, who could not be with me today, and my 2 beautiful sons, Isaiah and Elijah Pegues, who were at home at the time when I came to my first regional conference. Mr. Steve and Pasha Carter were presented. Where are you, Mr. and Mrs. Carter? Are you here? I don't know if you're available, but I would love to have you on the stage with me. If you're available, I would love to have you with me if you're available. But they were both at the regional conference speaking, and they were talking about Five Links, and at the time, I had already spent the 2 hours I needed to learn everything about them. My husband and I had already learned about Five Links. He couldn't be there because he was with the children. And Mr. Carter and our senior vice president, Mr. Lee Garrett, walked over and asked me if they needed to talk to my husband because I was waiting on a call to make the choice to join Five Links. But I said, no, I need to wait on my husband, because as a woman of God, he makes the decisions in our house. And being the obedient wife and the God-fearing wife that I was, when my husband says yes, nothing can stop us. And I stand before you today because a decision we made, and without my knowing that just a few months later, that I would be faced with a decision that required that I have brain surgery. So just before making the surgery, I stood before Lee Garrett, Dr. Jones, at another event where Pasha Carter was standing in a moment where there was no one else around, and I said, Miss Carter, I can't wait to ask you a momentous question. There's going to be a time where I'm going to be away from my business. I just started ED 22 days, and I just can't lose this business that I'm growing. I'm so excited. And Mrs. Carter said, well, what are you going to do, baby? What is it? Why are you going to take time off your business? I said, oh, it's nothing, just brain surgery. And Mrs. Carter said, baby, your business will be okay. Take care of those 2 babies, and you will be all right. When I woke up from brain surgery, the third person I saw was my senior vice president, Mr. Richard Hardon. Please give him a hand. Mrs. Pasha Carter said, keep in touch. Double platinum senior vice president, Lisa Nicole Cloud, said, keep in touch, I'll pray for you. Senior vice president, Dr. Jasper Brewster, Lee Garrett, Dr. Jones, prayed over me. My 5 Links family that stands behind me who are recognized as executive directors. Willie Lorena, Mr. and Mrs. Francois, my cousins, Mr. Will, I'm sorry, I'm just getting so nervous, but more than anything, I want you to know that my 5 Links family were there. I can name so many names right now, but the point I'm trying to make here is we talk about fear of loss in this company. Can I tell you, more than becoming national director, when I came out of brain surgery, when you talk about fear of loss, to be perfectly honest with you, what I fear of losing the most is this 5 Links family that carried me on this stage, that will carry me off this stage, this amazing leadership team. And I got to tell you, Jeb, I have admired you from afar for so long. So when this man put his hand on my shoulder 2 days ago and said, I want you to tell your story, I prayed, and I went to worship service this morning, and I said, let's give a hand to this worship service. I went to worship service this morning. Up until worship service, I thought I had nothing to say. But when Mr. Bus from the bus to the Bentley got up and said, everybody has a story, and you got to tell it. When Mrs. C. Anthony Harris got up there and held me and carried me to the front to get hands laid on me this morning, can I tell you that all the fear was gone? In closing, let me tell you that this company is anointed. And I want to say to you, let me just say to you, I need to come from behind this podium so you can see. I want you to see the obvious, okay? I have a neck brace, just in case you haven't noticed. I'm standing behind a walker, and yes, my legs are shaking, not because I'm afraid, not because I'm nervous, but because I can't walk and I have tremors that don't allow me the gift of walking for now. But I will walk. And in September, on September 30th, 2012, I will run across this stage as SVP. But the point I want to make to each and every one of you are that my limitations are obvious. You can see them when I walk into the room. But each and every one of you have limitations that we can't see. They're not obvious. And I want to applaud each and every one of you for coming here and being here today, because we can't see your limitations. We can't see your fears. We can't see your doubts. We can't see the naysayers that are going to talk to you in your ears and tell you that you can't win when you leave this conference today. Right now, you're surrounded by people who love you and support you and will tell you everything you need to know to be successful. But when you leave this building, when you leave this amazing family that is 5 Links, you are not going to be surrounded by that. But can I tell you that each and every one of you should applaud yourselves and remember this moment. You won't see this, but you each have limitations that are not as obvious as mine. But guess what? I love you the same, and I know that you have them. Nurture them the same. Love yourself the same. And I love you the same. Just because I don't see what your limitations are, I know that they're there. And I am so proud of each and every one of you for being here and for giving 5 Links a chance to be a million, billion, trillion-dollar company, because it is the answer to your prayers. Thank you. Thank you so much. And God bless you.